Let me share something with you that most men never truly grasp, something that could redefine the way you understand women, yourself, and the balance of power between the two. There will come a time, maybe it's happened already, when a woman, without warning, begins to ignore you. The conversations slow. The texts go unanswered. The attention you once received vanishes like smoke in the wind. And in that moment, for the vast majority of men, panic sets in. They start asking questions. What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Was I not enough? Did I say something? Should I fix it? And in chasing those answers, they spiral. Lost in emotion. Gripped by anxiety. Trapped in the illusion that her silence is somehow a verdict on their worth. But here's the truth, one that, once accepted, will free you. Her silence says more about her than it does about you. It does not reduce your value. It does not change who you are. It does not invalidate the man you've been or the man you are becoming. Instead, her silence is often nothing more than a test. A test of your presence. A test of your discipline. A test of your emotional control. She wants to see how you react when she pulls away. Will you crumble? Will you chase? Will you beg for attention? Or will you stand tall? Unshaken. Silent. Stoic. Because that's what you're here to learn, to walk the Stoic path. To become the kind of man who doesn't get rattled by the noise of the world. Who doesn't need to shout to be heard. Who doesn't need validation to know his worth. You're here to master yourself. To control your emotional state. To quiet the ego that screams for attention and approval. This isn't about revenge, or playing games. This is about reclaiming your power and learning the deeper, psychological truths that govern relationships and influence. So why might she be ignoring you, warrior? There are many reasons, and most of them have nothing to do with you. Maybe she's testing your emotional independence. Maybe she's caught up in her own world, her own issues. Maybe she's confused. Or maybe, just maybe, she's not as interested as you thought. And here's the hard truth, it doesn't matter. You're not here to decode her silence like it's some mystery novel. You're here to take every external challenge and use it as fuel for your internal evolution. When a woman pulls away, most men fall apart. They start questioning their self-worth. They reach out repeatedly. They over-explain. They overcompensate. They hand her their power on a silver platter. But not you. You understand the truth. You understand that your value is not dependent on her attention. Your identity isn't rooted in how much someone else acknowledges you. You are a king, and kings do not beg for audience. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds in history, ruled a vast empire. Yet he wrote not about conquering lands, but about conquering the self. He knew that people, just like circumstances, will come and go, and that our real power lies not in what we can control, but in how we respond. So when she goes silent, you don't react with desperation. You pause. You reflect. You recognize the test. You allow her to be silent, while you grow stronger in that silence. And if she never returns, so be it. You are not here to cling to what isn't yours. You are here to build something far more powerful yourself. Let me make this clear, being ignored is not rejection. It's a moment. A mirror. A gift disguised as distance. It is a reminder that everything you seek must come from within. And if she chooses to leave, let her. The man who truly knows his worth never fears who walks away. Now let's talk strategy. Step 1, Reverse psychology. This is not about manipulation. This is about psychological discipline. Women are emotional beings, deeply intuitive. They often expect a man to act a certain way when they go cold. They expect confrontation, pleas, confusion, or pursuit. But what happens when you give them none of that? You do the opposite. You show calm indifference. When she pulls back, you pull back more. When she stops texting, you stop noticing. When she creates distance, you give her space to miss you. And that's when something powerful happens. She begins to wonder why you're not reacting. She starts to question her hold over you. She becomes curious, intrigued, even attracted. Not because you played a game, but because you demonstrated that her validation was never your lifeline. That's what makes high-value men different. They don't beg. They don't chase. They don't crumble under silence or pull back. They walk away, not to prove a point, but because their dignity is non-negotiable. They understand a core truth: power doesn't come from forcing someone to stay. It comes from being so complete within yourself that their presence becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Step 1: Detach with dignity. When she pulls back, when she ghosts, when her attention fades, the average man reacts. He panics. He double texts. He stalks her stories. He talks about it with his friends, searching for answers. But the high-value man? He does something different. He pauses. He feels it, but he doesn't feed it. Because he knows that nothing exposes weakness faster than the fear of losing someone. And nothing commands more respect than calm indifference rooted in self-worth. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about genuinely knowing you'll be good either way. Because you were never defined by her presence. You were defined by your purpose. The man who walks away without drama, without bitterness, without begging, that's the man who lingers in her mind. Not out of mystery, but out of mastery. Step 2: Pour into yourself. This is the most important part. When she withdraws, you don't just wait. You build. You hit the gym harder than ever. You focus on your craft, your business, your purpose. You pick up the book you've been meaning to read. You upgrade your skills. You sharpen your mind. You improve every part of yourself, not to win her back, but to evolve beyond the version of you that needed her in the first place. Let her silence be your signal. Not to collapse, but to rise. Because here's the truth: the best response to rejection, to distance, to doubt, is greatness. You want her to regret walking away? Let her see you succeed. You want her to chase you? Let her see that you've stopped needing her. You want to reclaim your power? Take your eyes off her and put them back where they belong, on your mission. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Who is it that you want to become? The man who waits for attention? Or the man who becomes undeniable? Let her go, if she chooses to go. Let her remain distant, if she chooses silence. You, keep building. Keep rising. Keep mastering. Every set in the gym. Every early morning. Every disciplined choice. Every small win. You're not just surviving the storm, you're becoming the storm. Her attention? That's temporary. Your transformation? That's permanent. This is your time. Not to chase. Not to beg. But to evolve. So, warrior, rise. Build your empire. Build your mind. Build your discipline. Build your freedom. Become so focused on your path that her absence doesn't shake you, it simply reminds you of the path you're meant to walk. Step 3: Transmute pain into power. Let's be real. Rejection hurts. Silence hurts. Being ignored by someone you once gave your heart to. That's not just emotional, that's spiritual. But pain is not the enemy. Weak men run from pain. Strong men use it. When you feel that sting, use it. Let it be the fire that burns away everything that kept you soft. Let it fuel your mornings, sharpen your edge, ignite your grind. The man who can alchemize heartbreak into motivation becomes unstoppable. While she's out seeking validation from someone else, you're in the trenches becoming undeniable. You're mastering your craft. Sculpting your body. Rebuilding your mindset. Resurrecting your ambition. And before you know it, you're not thinking about her. Not because you forced her out of your mind, but because your future became too loud to ignore. Step 4. Dominate your domain. There comes a point in a man's journey where he stops reacting to life, and starts dictating it. He stops waiting for opportunity. He creates it. He stops chasing women. They become drawn to the force of his presence. Your domain is whatever you decide to claim. Your body. Your mind. Your finances. Your environment. Your habits. Your network. High-value men don't just hope things improve, they build the systems, routines, and discipline to make them improve. You become the kind of man who others look to for leadership. For guidance. For example. Not because you talk loudly. But because you move silently, and the results speak for you. Step 5. Attract from abundance. Ironically, it's when you let go that people return. Not always, and not because you wanted them to, but because true strength is magnetic. When you're locked into your purpose, your glow changes. Your energy shifts. You're no longer available for games, for breadcrumbs, for half-hearted love. You're too focused. Too grounded. Too evolved. And that's what makes you attractive, not the tactics, not the strategies, not the manipulations. But the undeniable aura of a man who is fulfilled from within. You found this message for a reason. You're not here by accident. Somewhere along the way, something hit you, a moment, a realization, a quiet whisper inside that said, there has to be more than this. Maybe it was a woman ignoring your text, ghosting your calls, or withdrawing her attention without explanation. Maybe it was a pattern, one too many times where you felt unseen, unchosen, forgotten. And yeah, it stung. Let's not sugarcoat it. You're a man. You feel that silence. You notice the shift. You're not made of stone, and you shouldn't be. But what you do from this moment forward, that's where everything changes. Because you're about to understand a truth that will shift the entire trajectory of your life. This was never about her. It was always about you. When silence speaks. When a woman ignores you, it doesn't feel neutral. It's not just a passive moment. It's a message. One you don't want to receive. You question yourself, you rewind the conversation, you scan for mistakes. Was I too much? Was I not enough? You live in that in-between space. Not broken, but bruised. Not defeated, but distracted. You begin to orbit around her attention, and before long, you're no longer at the center of your own world. And that is the real problem, not that she ignored you, but that you stopped paying attention to yourself. Let's flip the script. Power is presence. The strongest man is not the loudest in the room. He's the one who knows where he stands, even when no one else is standing with him. He holds his ground not with arrogance, but with peace. He's not chasing attention, he's embodying presence. When a woman ignores you, the immediate temptation is to prove something. To remind her of your worth. To chase. To explain. But what if you didn't? What if you did the opposite? What if you turned inward, not in retreat, but in rediscovery? What if you realized her silence wasn't rejection, it was redirection? And most importantly, what if you used her absence as an opportunity to strengthen your presence? The trap of validation. We live in a world that's conditioned men to tie their value to external validation, especially from women. We measure our worth by how desirable we are, how much attention we can command, how fast someone texts us back. That's not power. That's slavery in disguise. Because the second your sense of worth is held hostage by someone else's behavior, you've given your crown away. But when you detach your identity from her response, when you stop trying to decode every emoji or read between every line, you begin to reclaim something sacred. Your sovereignty. And that's when you start to build. This is about you. Let's make this clear. This isn't about her ignoring you. This is about what you do next. It's about your peace, because a man at peace can't be manipulated. It's about your progress, because a man on his mission doesn't beg to be seen. And it's about your potential, because a man who knows what he's capable of doesn't need approval to activate it. When you understand that, something shifts. You go from seeking to be chosen, to choosing yourself every single day. The art of detachment. Detachment isn't cold. It's not apathy. It's not shutting down. Detachment is mastery. It's the ability to feel without losing yourself. To love without losing your balance. To care without collapsing. When she ignores you and you don't flinch, when you stay grounded, focused, and undisturbed, that's not indifference. That's dominance. That's emotional self-control. That's what separates boys from men. Men from kings. Because kings don't chase. They attract. Masculine energy and the mission. There's a reason why the most magnetic men are often the ones most committed to something larger than themselves. They have vision. They have direction. They wake up every day with fire in their eyes, not because someone texted them back, but because they've got empires to build, bodies to sculpt, businesses to grow, disciplines to sharpen. Your mission isn't optional, it's your lifeline. When you lock in on it, you become a force. A woman not responding doesn't derail you, it barely dents your day. Why? Because you're too focused to be phased. Inner work warrior. You can hit the gym, drive the car, wear the watch, but if you haven't faced your wounds, you're still running. True masculine power isn't about looking strong. It's about being strong, internally. Have you faced your abandonment issues? Have you unpacked your fear of not being enough? Have you healed that version of you that once felt invisible? Because if not, every woman who pulls away will reactivate that little boy inside who just wants to be held. And here's the truth, that boy deserves healing. But that healing won't come from her. It comes from you. Build the empire, not for her, but for you. A lot of men chase success to prove something. To get revenge. To show her what she missed out on. But that's still giving her power. That's still about her. Your empire, your mind, your body, your purpose, it's not a stage to win her back. It's a sanctuary to find yourself again. Build it for your own standards. For your own pride. For your own legacy. And here's the irony, when you stop needing her to see you, everyone starts seeing you. Because men who move without approval become men who are admired without effort. Brotherhood and rising together. This path isn't meant to be walked alone. We need other men. We need real talk. We need spaces where we can be raw, unfiltered, and still respected. So find your tribe. Surround yourself with men who don't tolerate your excuses, but who also don't shame your vulnerability. Talk about the pain. Talk about the silence. Talk about the woman who left. Then use that as fuel. And when one of your brothers starts to rise, don't shrink. Don't hate. Rise with him. Because when kings link up, empires are born. This is just the beginning. You've now learned how to hold your power when a woman ignores you. You've seen how silence can be a teacher. How pain can be a portal. How detachment can be your greatest weapon. But always remember, this isn't about her. It's about you. Your peace. Your progress. Your potential. The world needs your grounded energy. Your unshakable focus. Your leadership. So if you're ready to fully step into this journey, drop a "challenge accepted" in the comments. Let the world see that you're no longer waiting. You're building. You're rising. You're unshakable. If this message stirred something in you, hit that like button. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because this isn't the last time we rise.